Hello everyone, welcome to this new TouchDesigner tutorial. In this tutorial we're going to learn how to loop between 2D images so we can see like they grow or shrink to the center point, and we can use different images to or shapes to loop. So before we start, uh, I made this tutorial because someone asked in the TouchDesigner help group in Spanish about how to do an animation like the Powerpuff Girls ending. So I decided to share this way to make this. Maybe there can be many other ways to do this, but I will show you how to make this kind of animation in TouchDesigner. So I'm going to delete all of this, okay, except my movie file in and this shape that we're going to use. So everything is deleted. Okay, first we need a pattern shop. So in this pattern shop, we're going to define our channels for, or maybe not. Maybe we can use and save one step. We can use a noise stop. In this noise stop, we're going to define our samples that is going to be 10 for now and one sample of uh, in Y, but we're going to have 10 samples. So we change this to 32-bit float RGB and offset to 0 and amplitude to 0. So all of our points are starting in 0 position for X and Y axis. And we can see this with the top to noise to top, sorry, top to chop. We change R for TX and Y for TY, green for TY, and okay, oh sorry. Okay, so we have this values and okay, see of if amplitude is 0, all of points are in 0 position. We need then now a pattern chop where we will define our position in C for our samples. That is the axis that we're going to work with. So we change to ramp because we need to be linear the position, and we can export this parameter to match the sizes of the samples, as you can see here. And we change the name to TC. So now we can merge. This is the data we need to the positions of the shapes. And we add a null. Then we can use a circle for our initial shape with a geometry, camera, materials like a constant and maybe line, and we add a render. This render we can have a resolution, square resolution, maybe change the format to 32-bit float, add an RGB key, to have a black background, and finally a null that will be our background for our container. So bg. Okay, and now we can apply our material, but we can see any of the animation we want. This is because we need to instance or shapes. So this null one will be position, and tx, ty, and tc. Okay, so we have now our 10 shapes, but they are equal size. Before we continue, I will add another noise. I can copy that, add a null. This will be color, so we can see all the different shapes, or instances, I should say. We select every channel, then we change this to not monochrome, so we turn it off, offset 0.5, amplitude 0.5, and okay, so here we see our shapes. Yay. Okay, and the trick for making this kind of animations is to use the same ramp for our translation in the z-axis, will drive or scale for our instances. So or the sample that will be at the value 0, we have a 0 scale, and the shape that would be in the 10th position, or the 1 value of the z-axis, will have a scale of 1. So if I drag this to the scale up and use the same channel for everyone, we can see we also we don't need the z-axis. So we have our 10 shapes. The one that is at the 1 position of the z-axis has an scale of 1, and the one that is at the 0 position of the z-axis has an scale of 0. So the next thing is to move the face of this animation. So when we do this, we have our animation driving. We can use the apps time seconds by 0.1, and now you can see the animation, but our camera still haven't seen it because the tinier shape, tinier circle, is on the 0 position, and or a bigger circle is in the 1 position, so it always see the 1. So the next trick to invert this is to invert or ramp with a matte chop, and the values will go from 0 to 1 to 1 to 0, and yay, we can see now the animation. We can also use an orthographic camera because we don't need to see any perspective because it's a 2D shape. Also to have a better animation, a better infinite loop, we need to make our camera not to see this part of the animation. So we need to be maybe 1.4, and now it looks very infinite because we don't see the bigger circle. Okay, so basically we do this, and this means that the shape with the tinier scale, with the 0 scale, would be always at the 1 position, and the shape at the bigger scale, or the 1 scale, will be always at the 0 position. So we invert the position, and that's why we now can see the animation. Okay, so that's it. I think we can also add here maybe an edge, and our input we can change for any color we want. I will choose black, and maybe the strength to 10 to see the lines. And what else? Okay, so if we now we can play with the resolution. So this is the amount of shapes we want. Maybe I can change this to 50, but okay, I need to export this to this noise. Okay, to the resolution width, not height, and now the shapes are there are 100 shapes. So we can start also playing with this first noise that drives our position in X and Y, and we can make this. So they are diagonal because is monochrome on, but if we turn off, we have different positions for x-axis and y-axis, and we can animate this with uptime.seconds by 0.1 maybe. Yes, we also we can increase the period like 5, and note it looks like a spiral, and change the seed. Also we can make the same with position, sorry, with color. Okay, I'm gonna increase the period. I'm gonna scale down like 0.5 maybe, and change the seed. Also animate this with uptime dot seconds. Wow, by 0.1. Yeah, we can open arc, or maybe not, maybe divisions. Yes, it looked like a tunnel. Or remember, we can also go back like amplitude 0, and we have the infinite animation at the center. Also, if we change our material to line, we can have also this kind of animation, and we can play with these lines to make something like a kaleidoscope. And this is possible thanks to a tutorial by Electronaut, where he shows how to make fractals. So I used um, that technique and implemented to these shapes, and the result was interesting. So we need to add a composite, then add a feedback, transform, and level. Okay, we connect the level to the comp. We drag the comp to the target top, to the feedback. We change the operation to difference, or maybe screen, I don't know, but we'll start with difference. I'm going to change the shapes as 25. Okay, so I'm going to lower the opacity in the post-processing, and we can use the transform to make this kind of animation. So we scale down the transform, and we need to turn on the extend to repeat or mirror. Okay, so also here in the line we can deactivate the far color, so we have just one color. Maybe we can make a bigger width to 5. Okay, so this is the animation, the original animation, and this is our result. Maybe okay, without the edge we have now something interesting. Sorry for that. So next, here also in the transform we make the same with the composite. We can scale it down like 0.5, and the magic comes when we use the extend overlay to repeat or mirror. So that's it. And with the rotations of the two operators, we can have or outcomes like kaleidoscopic, maybe fractalist. We also, with the material, if we change it to constant, we have a better outcome with this. We also screen. It also depends of the opacity we have here. So okay, I'm going back to difference, and okay, maybe there we can use different noise, maybe noise chop. We use and 1 2. Okay, we turn time slice on, and we change our amplitude to 180, and we can also add a filter, then a null, and export the one for the transform rotate, and the second for the composite rotate. So we have that kind of result that is also interesting. Maybe it's something fast, can increase the period, and it's your choice how to play with this, but it's very interesting. Also, this with constant material and with the edge, it also looks good. Remember, you can still play with the color period of one. You can put in your colors. Also, if we copy and paste this and we use it as a rotation, it also has a very interesting result. We need to change our pixel format to 32-bit float mono because we need only the rotation in the z-axis. That is the axis we are facing. So our offset will be 0, and we can start from maybe 15 degrees and export it to rotate up. And sorry, it's the same. All the channels have the same values. So I'm going to deactivate this composite. We can see now the rotations of our shapes. And sorry, I need to remove this and this one. Sorry. So again, it's your choice. If you want so much rotation, if you want them to have like a spiral path, scale back to 1, and your amplitude. So I'm going to activate this again, and also the result is different. Yeah, looks good for me. You can try any other composite ones, but I like it with difference for this case. And as I said, you can use any other shape you want. This shape you can learn how to do it with my last tutorial of parametric equations. So I just copy it and apply a skin and a transform, and now there are the hearts. I'm going to deactivate this again, the scale, and you can see now how it looks like the Powerpuff Girls outro. And also with a PNG, if you use it like this, butterfly, and use the trace top, trace top, and you put it into the geo, now you can have also that shape and go crazy with it, like with this kind of fractals, or again just playing with the line material, maybe more samples like 150, and don't forget to use the noise for positions. So also there is an interesting animation path for these ones. You lower the period more, they act more randomly. Maybe we can down the width like 2, 3, I don't know, 4. Yeah, I think 4 is good for this. So you can use a basic displays patch, and you displays it by itself. We change the displays width to like that. We can add a blur and play with that. Yes. So looks something very, very crazy. Um, yes, very, very crazy. Mm, maybe without the edge. What happens if we put it before? Yeah, it also looks good. So that's it. That's this tutorial. You can have a very, very different outcomes depending of what you play, but the principle is the same. It's the basic. So I hope you like this tutorial, and sorry for being inactive these last weeks. I've been very busy with some projects here on my city. So uh, till now I have the time to make this one. So I hope this is helpful for you, and any any question, you can leave it on the comment section. Also, this project, oh sorry, this project with these variations will be available to the Patreon subscribers. And also I want to thanks all of my subscribers that are supporting me. Thank you very much for making possible uh, to have time to make these tutorials for you. So that's it. I will see you on the next tutorial. Goodbye.